On living wisely in a turbulent world, to live well is not to chase fleeting pleasures or to cower before the storms of fate, but to stand firm in the possession of your own soul. The world, with its ceaseless clamor and unpredictable tides, will always seek to pull you from your center. Yet the wise man, the one who has made virtue his guide, knows that true contentment lies not in external circumstances, but in the mastery of his own mind. I, Seneca, urge you to consider this. Life is brief, its hours slipping through our fingers like sand, and yet it is within our power to make each moment rich with meaning. Let us explore how to live in accordance with reason, to embrace what comes, and to find peace amid the chaos. First, understand that nothing external can truly harm you unless you allow it. The Stoic does not rail against misfortune, for he knows that adversity is not an evil, but an opportunity. When sickness strikes, when wealth departs, when loved ones are lost, these are not calamities but tests of your character. The fire that burns the forest does not destroy the earth beneath. It clears the way for new growth. So too does suffering refine the soul. Recall the words of Zeno. The universe is governed by reason, and we are part of it. To resist what happens is to resist the very order of nature. Instead, accept each event as though you had chosen it yourself. In this acceptance lies freedom. When you cease to fight the inevitable, you reclaim the power to direct your inner state. But how, you may ask, does one cultivate such resilience? The answer lies in daily practice. Each morning, as the sun rises, prepare your mind for the day's trials. Imagine the worst that could befall you, not to dwell in fear, but to arm yourself with foresight. Picture the loss of possessions, the scorn of others, the failure of plans. By rehearsing these possibilities, you strip them of their power to surprise or unsettle you. This is not pessimism, but preparation. As a soldier trains for battle, so must you train your mind for life. When the blow comes, you will not stagger, for you have already faced it in thought. This practice, which I call premeditatio malorum, is the shield of the wise. It allows you to meet each challenge with a steady heart, knowing that no event can take from you what is truly yours, your virtue. Yet virtue alone is not enough if it is not applied with discipline. The mind is a restless thing, prone to wander toward vain desires or petty grievances. To live well, you must govern it with reason. Consider your actions each day. Are they guided by wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance? These are the cornerstones of a good life. When anger rises within, you pause and ask, is this worth my peace? When desire tempts you toward excess, question whether it serves your true purpose. The man who masters his impulses is richer than the one who owns vast estates, for he possesses himself. Reflect at day's end on your deeds, not to torment yourself with guilt, but to learn and grow. This examination, though humbling, is the path to progress. As a farmer tends his fields, so must you tend your soul, weeding out folly and planting wisdom. Time, the most precious of all resources, demands your utmost care. Many squander it, chasing trivialities or lamenting what cannot be changed. Yet the wise man guards his time as a treasure. He knows that each moment is a gift, not to be wasted on idle pursuits or fruitless worries. Ask yourself, how much of your day is spent on what truly matters? To live is not merely to exist, but to act with purpose. Devote your hours to study, to meaningful work, to the service of others. Do not let the opinions of the crowd dictate your path, for the masses are often swayed by folly. Seek instead the company of truth, whether found in books, in quiet reflection, or in the honest words of a friend. Time well spent is the foundation of a life well lived. Death, the specter that haunts so many, is but another event in the natural order. Why fear it? It is as inevitable as the setting sun, and no amount of dread will delay its coming. The Stoic does not cling to life out of desperation, nor does he recoil from its end. He lives each day as though it were his last, not in reckless abandon, but in full awareness of its value. To live thus is to be free from the terror of mortality. Death is not a loss if you have lived virtuously, for you have already claimed the only prize that matters, a life aligned with reason. When your time comes, meet it with the same calm you bring to every challenge. It is not death that diminishes. Stoic approach to life. To live wisely in a world of chaos is no small feat, yet it is within your grasp if you anchor yourself to the principles of Stoicism. I, Seneca, declare that the path to a good life lies not in the pursuit of wealth, fame, or fleeting pleasures, but in the cultivation of virtue, the acceptance of what lies beyond your control, and the commitment to live in accordance with reason. These are the pillars of a life well lived. To these we add the profound concept of Amor Fati, the love of fate, which bids us to embrace every moment, every trial, as if we had chosen it ourselves. In an age of stress, anxiety, and setbacks, these Stoic principles offer a timeless guide to navigating the tempests of modern life with clarity and calm. Virtue, the Stoics teach, is the only true good. Wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, these are the treasures that no external force can steal. Wealth may vanish, health may falter, and reputation may crumble, but virtue remains unshaken. To live virtuously is to act with integrity, to choose what is right over what is easy, and to temper your desires with restraint. Consider the man who chases endless pleasures or clings to fleeting comforts. His soul is restless, tethered to things that slip through his fingers. The Stoic, by contrast, finds contentment in his own character. When you make virtue your aim, you build a foundation that no misfortune can erode. In the modern world, where distractions abound and societal pressures urge us to measure our worth by external markers, likes, followers, or bank accounts, Stoicism reminds us to turn inward. Ask yourself, have I acted with kindness today? Have I faced my fears with courage? Have I sought truth over comfort? These questions, not the applause of the crowd, define your worth, yet virtue alone is not enough if we resist the natural order of life. Much of our suffering stems from our refusal to accept what lies beyond our control. The Stoic understands that the universe operates according to its own laws, and we are but a small part of its vast design. The weather, the actions of others, the twists of fate, these are not ours to command. To rail against them is to waste our energy and invite misery. Instead, we must focus on what is within our power, our thoughts, our choices, our responses. When a colleague betrays you, when a project fails, when illness strikes, do not curse the event. Ask instead, how can I respond with wisdom? How can I grow from this? This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities. It frees you from the tyranny of circumstance and restores your sovereignty over your inner world. This brings us to Amor Fati, the love of fate, a concept that elevates acceptance to an art form. To love your fate is not merely to tolerate what happens, but to embrace it with enthusiasm, as if each moment were crafted for your benefit. Imagine the man who loses his job. One weeps and calls it injustice, another accepts it and moves forward. But the Stoic, imbued with Amor Fati, sees it as a chance to reinvent himself, to discover new paths, to test his resilience. This is not blind optimism, but a deliberate choice to find meaning in every experience. Life, with its joys and sorrows, is a tapestry woven by forces beyond our control. To love your fate is to see each thread, pleasant or painful, as essential to the whole. In a world of constant uncertainty, where economic instability, health crises, or personal losses can strike without warning, Amor Fati offers a radical antidote. It teaches us to say, "This is my life and I choose it," in all its complexity. How, then, do these principles help us navigate the challenges of modern life? Consider stress, that relentless companion of our age. It arises not from events themselves, but from our judgments about them. The looming deadline, the overflowing inbox, the endless demands, these are not the problem. It is our perception that they are unbearable that torments us. The Stoic counters this by reframing the situation. A deadline is a chance to practice diligence. A crowded schedule is an opportunity to prioritize what matters. By focusing on what you can control, your effort, your attitude, you dissolve the power of stress to overwhelm you. Each morning, practice premeditation. Envision the challenges of the day and prepare your mind to meet them with calm. This mental rehearsal, a cornerstone of Stoic practice, arms you against the unexpected. When stress arises, pause, breathe, and ask, what virtue can I exercise here? The answer will guide you to peace. Anxiety, too, finds its remedy in Stoic wisdom. The anxious mind is one that dwells on the future, conjuring fears of what might be. Yet the future is not yours to control. The Stoic returns to the present, the only realm where action is possible. When worry grips you, ask, what can I do now? Often, the answer is simple. Act with intention in this moment. If you cannot act, then accept the uncertainty as part of life's design. Amor Fati transforms anxiety into curiosity. Instead of fearing what may come, you embrace it as a chapter yet to be written. By anchoring yourself in the present and loving whatever fate brings, you rob anxiety of its sting. Setbacks, whether personal or professional, are inevitable. The Stoic does not view them as failures, but as lessons. A failed venture is a chance to learn resilience, a broken relationship, an opportunity to practice forgiveness. By embracing setbacks with Amor Fati, you find meaning in loss. Reflect daily on your actions, not to dwell on mistakes, but to glean wisdom from them. This practice of self-examination, coupled with the pursuit of virtue, ensures that no setback defines you. Instead, it refines you. In the end, the Stoic approach to life is a call to live deliberately. Make virtue your compass, accept what you cannot control, and love your fate with all its imperfections. In a world that bombards us with noise and uncertainty, Stoicism offers a quiet strength. It teaches us to stand firm, not by resisting life's currents, but by flowing with them. Live each day with reason, embrace each challenge with courage, and you will find that no storm can shake the fortress of your soul. Practical applications of Stoicism: to live well is to live with purpose, guided by reason and virtue, unshaken by the whims of fortune. I, Seneca, have long taught that Stoicism is not a philosophy for mere contemplation, but a practice for transforming your life. In an age of distraction, where stress and uncertainty cloud the mind, Stoicism offers practical tools to cultivate resilience, clarity, and contentment. Let us explore how to weave Stoic principles into your daily life through journaling, mindfulness, and gratitude. How others have used these principles to triumph over adversity, and how Stoicism can guide you in your career, relationships, and personal growth. Begin with actionable practices to anchor Stoicism in your daily routine. First, embrace journaling as a tool for self-reflection. Each evening, set aside a few moments to write. Reflect on your day. What did you do well? Where did you falter? Ask, did I act with wisdom, courage, justice, or temperance? This is not to torment yourself with guilt, but to learn and grow. Consider what provoked anger or anxiety and how you might respond differently tomorrow. By examining your actions, you train your mind to align with virtue. This practice, which I call the evening review, sharpens your self-awareness and strengthens your resolve. Over time, it becomes a mirror to your soul, revealing progress and guiding you toward wisdom. Mindfulness, too, is a cornerstone of Stoic practice. The modern world pulls your attention in 1,000 directions: notifications, deadlines, endless desires. To counter this, practice living in the present moment. When you eat, savor each bite. When you walk, notice the rhythm of your steps. When worry about the future arises, gently return your focus to what you can control now. A simple exercise is to pause 3 times a day and ask, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? Is this within my power? This act of centering yourself aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing only on what you can control: your thoughts, your choices, your responses. By rooting yourself in the present, you free yourself from the burdens of the past and the fears of the future. Gratitude transforms your perspective, turning scarcity into abundance. Each morning, take a moment to name 3 things you are thankful for: the breath in your lungs, the warmth of a friend's smile, the opportunity to face the day's challenges. This practice, inspired by Amor Fati, the love of fate, teaches you to embrace life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Write these gratitudes in your journal or speak them aloud. When hardship strikes, gratitude reminds you of the good that remains. It is a shield against despair, reminding you that even in loss, life offers gifts worth cherishing. Consider now how Stoicism has guided others through adversity, proving its timeless power. Take the example of James, a merchant whose business collapsed during an economic crisis. Devastated, he turned to Stoic teachings. By practicing premeditatio malorum, mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios, he prepared himself for loss and found clarity. Instead of despairing, he asked, "What can I control?" He focused on his skills, networked with others, and started anew. Through Stoic discipline, he rebuilt his career, not by clinging to what was lost, but by embracing what was possible. Or consider Maria, a mother who faced a terminal illness. She adopted Amor Fati, choosing to love her fate rather than resent it. By focusing on moments with her family and finding joy in small acts, reading to her children, sharing laughter, she lived her final days with peace. These stories show that Stoicism is not abstract theory, but a lifeline in life's storms. In your career, Stoicism offers clarity amid ambition and setbacks. The workplace is a crucible of challenges, demanding bosses, missed promotions, endless tasks. Begin by focusing on what you can control: your effort, your integrity, your attitude. When a project fails, do not curse fate. Ask, "What can I learn?" When a colleague's criticism stings, pause and reflect. Is this true? How can I grow from it? Practice temperance by avoiding the trap of overwork or chasing status for its own sake. Instead, define success by your adherence to virtue. A Stoic in the workplace is diligent but not frantic, ambitious but not envious. By aligning your work with reason, you find purpose even in mundane tasks. If you face unemployment, as James did, use Stoic foresight to prepare mentally and practically, turning setbacks into opportunities for reinvention. In relationships, Stoicism fosters harmony by teaching you to prioritize justice and kindness. You cannot control others' actions, their words, their moods, their choices, but you can control your response. When a friend wrongs you, resist the urge to lash out. Ask, "How can I act with compassion?" Practice gratitude for the people in your life, even when they falter. If a relationship ends, embrace Amor Fati. Accept the loss as part of life's design and focus on the virtues you can cultivate: patience, forgiveness, or courage to move forward. Stoicism does not make you cold or detached. It deepens your connections by grounding them in reason rather than fleeting emotions. By loving others without clinging to them, you build relationships that are resilient and true. For personal development, Stoicism is a path to self-mastery. Set aside time each day for study, read the works of wise minds, reflect on their lessons, and apply them to your life. Practice self-discipline by setting small, achievable goals. Wake early, limit distractions, or exercise regularly. Each act of discipline strengthens your will, like a muscle honed through use. When self-doubt creeps in, counter it with reason. I am capable of growth. My past does not define me. Embrace adversity as a teacher. If you fail, reflect and try again. Stoicism teaches that progress, not perfection, is the goal. By living deliberately, through journaling, mindfulness, and gratitude, you sculpt a life aligned with your highest self. In closing, Stoicism is a practice, not a destination. Through journaling, you gain clarity. Through mindfulness, you reclaim the present. Through gratitude, you embrace life's fullness. The examples of James and Maria show that Stoic principles turn adversity into strength. In your career, relationships, and personal growth, Stoicism offers a compass to navigate life's uncertainties. Live each day with intention, love your fate, and let virtue be your guide. The world may shift beneath your feet, but with Stoicism, your soul remains unshaken. Stoicism in a digital age, in this age of ceaseless noise, where screens flicker with endless streams of opinion and distraction, the pursuit of a good life demands uncommon clarity. I, Seneca, proclaim that Stoicism, with its timeless call to virtue, reason, and acceptance, offers a beacon amid the chaos of the digital world. The pressures of social media and the deluge of information threaten to scatter the mind. Yet Stoic principles provide a steady hand to guide us. By embracing mindful media consumption and cultivating digital well-being, we can harness Stoicism to find meaning and purpose in this frenetic era. Let us explore how to live wisely in a world that never pauses. The digital age assaults the soul with a peculiar intensity. Social media, with its parade of curated lives, breeds envy, insecurity, and a hunger for approval. Each notification pulls you from your center, tempting you to measure your worth by likes or followers. Information overload, meanwhile, overwhelms the mind with a flood of news, opinions, and trivia, leaving little room for reflection. Yet Stoicism teaches that true happiness lies not in external validation, but in the possession of virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. The Stoic does not seek the crowd's applause, but the approval of his own reason. When you scroll through images of others' success, pause and ask, does this serve my virtue? When the news stirs fear or anger, consider, is this within my control? By focusing on what you can govern, your thoughts, your responses, you reclaim your peace. The digital world may clamor, but it cannot touch the fortress of a disciplined mind. Social media pressure thrives on comparison, a trap the Stoic avoids by anchoring himself in what is true. Others' lives, polished for display, are not your measure. Their wealth, their travels, their seeming perfection, these are externals, indifferent to your happiness. Recall that virtue alone is the good. A life of integrity, lived quietly, surpasses the fleeting glow of 1,000 likes. Practice premeditatio malorum. Imagine the sting of criticism, the absence of praise, the loss of followers. By rehearsing these possibilities, you strip them of their power to wound. When you feel the urge to compare, redirect your gaze inward. Ask, am I acting with kindness? Am I seeking wisdom? These questions, rooted in Stoic principles, dissolve the illusion that your worth lies in others' eyes. Information overload, too, finds its antidote in Stoicism. The endless stream of data, news alerts, trending posts, urgent emails, creates a mind restless and divided. The Stoic counters this by practicing selective attention. You cannot control the flood of information, but you can control what you allow into your mind. Choose sources that elevate your understanding, not those that inflame or distract. Set boundaries. Limit your time online, curate what you consume, and carve out moments of silence. This is temperance in action, a refusal to let the digital torrent dictate your focus. Each day reflect on what you've encountered. Ask, did this information serve my purpose? Did it make me wiser or merely anxious? By filtering the noise through the lens of reason, you preserve the clarity needed to live well. Mindful media consumption is not merely a habit, but a Stoic discipline. To consume mindfully is to engage with intention, to question the value of what you absorb. Before opening an app, pause and set a purpose. I will learn something useful, or I will connect meaningfully. Avoid mindless scrolling, which scatters the mind and steals time, that most precious resource. Practice Amor Fati, love of fate, by accepting the digital world as it is, with its chaos and potential. Instead of resenting its distractions, use them as opportunities to exercise self-control. When a post sparks envy or a headline stirs fear, see these as tests of your Stoic resolve. Respond with reason, not reaction. By consuming media with mindfulness, you transform a potential vice into a practice of virtue. Digital well-being, too, is rooted in Stoic principles. The digital age tempts us to live in fragments, always connected, yet rarely present. Stoicism calls us to return to the moment. Practice mindfulness by setting aside your devices for an hour each day. Walk without a screen, eat without notifications, listen to a friend without distraction. These acts, small yet profound, align with the Stoic call to focus on what is within your control. Gratitude, another Stoic practice, enhances digital well-being. Each morning, name 3 things the digital world offers: access to knowledge, connection with distant loved ones, tools for creativity, and let this gratitude ground you. By balancing engagement with detachment, you ensure that technology serves you, not rules you. How then does Stoicism empower us to find meaning and purpose in this digital age? Meaning lies not in the endless scroll or the fleeting thrill of a viral post, but in living with intention. Stoicism teaches that purpose is found in the pursuit of virtue, not in external rewards. Consider the story of Anna, a writer overwhelmed by social media's demand for constant output. By embracing Stoic principles, she set boundaries. She limited her online time, focused on creating work aligned with her values, and practiced gratitude for her ability to write. Her productivity soared, not because she chased trends, but because she anchored herself in purpose. Or take Michael, a student paralyzed by the news cycle's negativity. Through Stoic reflection, he learned to filter information, focusing on what he could act upon, studying, volunteering, growing. By embracing Amor Fati, he found meaning in small, deliberate actions, turning chaos into opportunity. In your career, Stoicism guides you to use digital tools with purpose. A programmer, for instance, might face pressure to overwork in a tech-driven world. By practicing temperance, she sets limits, prioritizes tasks, and focuses on quality over quantity. In relationships, Stoicism fosters authentic connection. Instead of chasing online validation, use digital platforms to share kindness or wisdom, reflecting the Stoic virtue of justice. For personal development, let Stoicism shape your digital habits. Journal about your online experiences, noting what uplifts or distracts you. Study Stoic texts online, but do so with focus, not frenzy. Each act of discipline strengthens your purpose. In closing, the digital age, with its pressures and distractions, is but another arena for Stoic practice. By focusing on virtue, consuming media mindfully, and embracing Amor Fati, you navigate this world with clarity and calm. Social media and information overload are tests, not tyrants. Use them to hone your reason, to cultivate gratitude, to live with purpose. The digital world may be vast, but your soul, guided by Stoicism, is vaster still. Live deliberately, love your fate, and let virtue light your path. The enduring relevance of Stoicism in a world that churns with uncertainty, where fortunes shift, opinions clash, and distractions multiply, the wisdom of Stoicism remains a steadfast guide. I, Seneca, proclaim that this ancient philosophy, rooted in virtue, reason, and acceptance, offers a timeless framework for navigating life's tempests and finding inner peace. Far from being a relic of the past, Stoicism enjoys a vibrant resurgence in your modern age, its principles resonating deeply with those who seek clarity amid chaos. More than a fixed doctrine, Stoicism is a living practice, endlessly adaptable, inviting each soul to shape it to their time and trials. Let us explore why Stoicism endures, why it captivates contemporary hearts, and how its dynamic nature ensures its relevance for all ages. The relevance of Stoicism lies in its power to anchor us in a world adrift. Today, you face uncertainties, unknown to my time. Economic volatility, technological upheaval, the relentless noise of digital voices. Yet, the core of human struggle remains unchanged: how to live well when life is unpredictable. Stoicism teaches that true peace is not found in controlling the external world, which is ever beyond your grasp, but in mastering your inner self. Virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance is the only good, unshaken by fortune's whims. When markets crash or pandemics loom, the Stoic does not despair. He asks, how can I act with integrity? When social pressures or personal losses strike, he focuses on what he can control: his thoughts, his choices, his responses. This framework, simple yet profound, offers a bulwark against uncertainty. By aligning your actions with reason and virtue, you cultivate a tranquility that no storm can disturb. Consider the daily assaults of your age: the pressure to perform, the fear of missing out, the anxiety of an always connected world. Stoicism counters these with Amor Fati, the love of fate. To embrace each moment, whether joyous or painful, as if you had chosen it, is to reclaim your freedom. A missed opportunity becomes a chance to practice resilience, a public criticism, an occasion for humility. This perspective transforms uncertainty from a foe into a teacher. In my time, I faced exile and the threat of death, yet found peace by focusing on virtue. So too can you, whether facing job loss or societal unrest, find serenity by asking, what virtue can I exercise here? Stoicism's enduring gift is this. It teaches you to build an inner citadel, a place of peace that no external chaos can breach. Why then does Stoicism flourish anew in your era? Its resurgence springs from a hunger for meaning in a world that often feels hollow. The digital age, with its endless scroll of opinions and images, leaves many adrift, chasing fleeting validation or drowning in information. Stoicism offers an antidote, a call to return to what matters. Books, podcasts, and online communities spread its teachings, from my letters to the meditations of Marcus Aurelius, reaching millions who seek wisdom. Its appeal lies in its practicality. No arcane rituals, no dogma, only clear principles for living well. A young professional, overwhelmed by career demands, finds solace in daily reflection, asking, did I act with purpose today? A parent, strained by modern pressures, embraces Amor Fati to find joy in small moments with their child. Stoicism speaks to all, students, leaders, artists, because it addresses the universal human need for resilience and purpose. This resurgence is no mere trend, but a response to a world that mirrors the challenges of my own Rome. Political strife, social division, personal ambition. Your technology amplifies these, yet Stoicism's simplicity cuts through the noise. It requires no wealth, no status, only a commitment to reason. Online platforms, for all their flaws, have democratized this wisdom, allowing voices from across the globe to share how Stoic practices, journaling, mindfulness, gratitude, transform their lives. A programmer in a bustling city might pause to practice negative visualization, preparing for setbacks to stay calm. A teacher, facing burnout, might reflect on justice, ensuring her actions align with fairness. Stoicism's appeal lies in its universal accessibility. Anyone, anywhere, can choose virtue over vice, reason over reaction, and find peace in the present. Yet, Stoicism's true power lies in its adaptability, not its rigidity. It is not a static code, but a living philosophy, molded to the needs of each era. In my time, I adapted Zeno's teachings to the intrigues of Nero's court. Today, you apply them to digital dilemmas and modern anxieties. Stoicism does not demand blind adherence, but invites you to test its principles in your life. Consider the practice of journaling. You might write by hand, as I did, or type on a screen, but the purpose remains, to reflect on your actions and grow in wisdom. Mindfulness, a Stoic tenet, adapts to your age. You might meditate in silence or use an app to focus your thoughts. Even Amor Fati evolves. You might embrace a delayed flight as a chance to read, or a social media slight as a test of patience. Stoicism's flexibility ensures it remains relevant, bending to fit the contours of your challenges while holding fast to its core. Live virtuously, accept what comes, act with reason. To apply Stoicism today, weave it into your daily life. Each morning, practice premeditatio malorum. Envision the day's challenges, a difficult meeting, a technical glitch, and prepare to meet them with calm. Each evening, reflect. Did I act with courage? Did I waste time on what I cannot control? Limit your digital consumption, choosing quality over quantity to guard your mind's clarity. Practice gratitude for the tools of your age, knowledge at your fingertips, connections across distances, while tempering their use with discipline. These practices, rooted in Stoic wisdom, empower you to find purpose amid the digital din, to live not for likes or trends, but for virtue.